Let's talk about why Amazon is a horrible business today, and I would never recommend anyone to start a business on Amazon. And I'm going to caveat this by saying that I've been successfully selling on Amazon since 2015 and have coaching clients who have reached up to 8 figures a year on Amazon, yes, and still I would recommend against it. And I actually used to recommend people start a business on it. Now, in 2015, like when I started, or earlier, or slightly later, this was the good old times where things were nice. It felt like it wasn't. It felt like everything's so competitive. But every year, everything is so much more competitive that you would be so grateful if things can go back to that environment. In any case, at that time, there was less competition and the Amazon ad system wasn't online, so it was all organic. But there were still problems with Amazon. The problems were that you had to play by Amazon rules in terms of service. The prices were pretty low. Compare that to selling on your own website, you can sell for higher prices because of the nature of the marketplace competition on Amazon. And you had to give an extra like 30% depending on what your products are, but an extra approximately 30% to Amazon. So not only you're selling for less, you're making less on that sale because Amazon takes a cut. All these negatives were tiny in my mind compared to the fact that you have a chance to sell in the biggest store in the world. That's amazing. If you go back 20 years ago, imagine if you had a chance to sell your widget at Walmart. That would be a gift from the gods. Today, you have Amazon. It's so available. It's been democratized. We don't want to take that for granted. But what happened after that? In a few years since then, Amazon put online their ad system. So now, to compete in most categories and niches, you also have to run ads, because if you don't, your competitors will, and they'll outsell you, and their sales metrics and reviews will go higher and higher. They'll outpace you and outrank you, because one of the more traditional ways to get a lot of sales on Amazon is to Amazon search. That's people searching within Amazon. Let's say you're selling socks and people searching for socks and Amazon recommending you. But if other people are jumping over you by just accelerating their sales and reviews because they're running ads, it's a lot harder for you. So you're forced into ads. Now you're not just paying Amazon commission, but you're also paying ads, which eat further into your profit. And every year, the ad price and competition goes up. So in the first year, it was fine. You would get like a penny per click. You're like, great, more sales. Or something like that, right? Like, what's that meme? Like, cool. I'm too old for these memes. But then it became 10 cents, 20 cents, dollar. Okay, it's hard to make profits now because many products are not that expensive on Amazon. Consider that also another issue is that a lot of people buy inventory. Let's say they buy from AliExpress or Alibaba and they get 100 or 1,000 items. They're storing in their garage or something, hoping to sell. Maybe they sell like 20 of those items. They're stuck with inventory, so they lost money. And the sales they made were for very little. And so it's like a lose, lose, lose. More competition. You're having to run ads. And the worst part is, in a lot of categories, you see competitors pop up that just buy reviews. And Amazon is not very proactive at removing those. They are pretty good, but not great. And so you get a lot of questionable products that outrank you. So now your organic sales are low. Your profits from the ads are non-existent almost. And they're not recommending you as much because they're filling up the recommendations with ad space. There's a lot less room for person who bought this, also like that. And here's similar products. Yeah, you can get there, but through running ads. So it's basically like you're paying Amazon here, there, there, there. It's incredibly hard to make sales. And even if you make sales, it's incredibly hard to make those sales profitable, because if you live in like Thailand, okay, you can live on like $200 a month. I don't know how much is required there, but most people aren't living there. If you live in United States, somewhere in Europe, you need to make like thousands of dollars a month just to break even in life. Consider your costs, consider all your efforts, and sometimes it takes like 6 months or a year to really ramp up. And so suddenly you're making no money, and when you start making money, it's like little tiny amounts, and it just does not make any financial sense. It's very rare that a person succeeds on Amazon these days, very rare. They have to deal with the profit margin erosion, but also have the wherewithal to withstand the financial loss over many months while pushing forward and working hard, which is very few people are capable of that actually in practice. And that's why today Amazon, it's great if you can dominate the algorithm, but it's so hard that most people end up failing. And this is just a word of caution that I want to share from my own experience. And my own experience has been good before. Like, I have a business planning book on Amazon that, because of Amazon, it was discovered by universities, and universities started using this book, and I got speaking engagements, and this would never happen without Amazon. So I'm grateful for Amazon. But that's because I launched in 2015. I don't honestly know if the same success would have been possible today, because today I would have started on day one, and the competitive books have like 500 reviews or 1,000 reviews, like my book has now. But then I would start from zero, and it would be so hard because, the margin on the book for a $15 book, you're only making like $5 or something if it's a paperback. So, because, there's printing cost, maybe the ads cost, then there's Amazon takes a cut. So you really are left with very little. It's so hard to sell one book. But when you sell, oh, congratulations, you made $3. Now go home and be happy. Here's your medal. Can't make a living on that, which is why Amazon is so hard today. I don't know if I would succeed on it today. Luckily, I started early. So what's my recommendation? My recommendation is always a hard one. Not too hard, but a little bit. Look for forward-looking businesses of tomorrow, not ideas of yesterday, which I think Amazon is becoming that. It's still possible, but why would you want to go somewhere where it's really hard, where you can go somewhere that's the Amazon of 2012 or 10, but something that's starting up now, that's the environment, like nascent environment, where you can start early, ride that tidal wave, and make a lot of money before it gets difficult.